It's been an interesting week, and of course, this weekend is International Women's Day. Today, I hope you celebrated.
Logic as you're getting into a business. How do you get into, you know, you want this business to outlive you, so how do you then just like that get into a business knowing half the time it's actually you're gonna have to split, and that's why there's a lot of lessons to actually learn from these. That number one, perhaps don't go into business with a love partner. Number two, if you have to get into business with a love partner, then you need to have a post-divorce agreement. Like, imagine, just start by imagining that a divorce happens. It's the same way you're getting into a contract with somebody. Treat it like a contract. Because if you write any contract with anyone, if it cannot be enforced by the court of law, then it doesn't even exist. What is the punishment in that contract? For a contract to be, any contract without punishment is not a contract. You also have to foresee, if all fails, how will we divide it? And that's what we call the post-divorce agreement. Some people actually call it a prenuptial agreement. But even if you start the business when you're married, I know it sounds like, oh my God, like, you know the way Kenyans fear writing a will? It is the same way they fear writing, oh, you will look like you want too much, you will look like... Because when now divorce has to happen, then it has to be amicable. Because right now, that company has really grown. It's one of those most trusted companies in Kenya. And dividing even the goodwill, part of the value of a company is in the goodwill. So how do you divide a goodwill? So if you had agreed earlier on, like in case of a divorce, this is how we shall foresee things, then it is very easy for the company to outlive a divorce. And then the other thing I want to say is that if you then have to get into a business with your partner, then you have to put in structures in the company. You need to have a board. You need such that the company does not depend on your relationship.
Like you are strategizing your entire future in your honeymoon, and now you are starting a business. Yes, your dream is how big it will be and how massive it will be and how many children will inherit and all those. Like you are seeing everything. The only thing that we don't like hearing is one day we will end our marriage. That is the one painful pill that nobody wants to swallow. And I think the best way would be like, yes, you've gotten there. From the first issue, understand one thing. If the first issue happens, no matter where the level of the business is, look at it as the biggest of the biggest fight. Because at that time whereby you are saying we are sorting our marriage, or let's continue building a business, we are sorting, because most of the time you realize that as the business becomes big, you start demanding, your time more. And the time that will be put in the back window, like you said, throw love away, that relationship will not get the time to make it, or rebuild it or sort the issues, what will happen is the business is demanding for our attention. By the time it's overgrown, the marriage is dead. So you gave
it's
all
not
your
always,
attention. It's not
Maria,
always.
Maria, sorry, let me just correct you there. It is not always that all businesses that are started, family businesses, and that are started will actually end up in collapse. So let me just correct the statistics. Kenya today runs on family businesses. A lot of families survive, and a lot of family businesses actually go on to become. And since we are going through the reality of the fact that some of them do not make it, like the one of Sarah Kabu, and the husband did not make it, we just have to learn lessons. Very recently, we were dealing with the Beckhams. And part of the problem of the Beckhams was that their son got married to this billionaire family, and he was forced to sign a prenuptial agreement that did not favor him. That is the problem. A lot of these wealthy families, and on this show I have said, Kenyans, we have to be intentional about building generational wealth. Divorce usually erodes generational wealth. You know, lack of these proper systems and everything erodes generational wealth. And if we are serious about that, then we have to put in systems. If you're getting into business with your husband, know that there's a percentage
and everybody heads their own way.
They are fighting over SIM cards now.
Otherwise, fighting for these small things like SIM cards and everything, it will end up now collapsing the business.
Congratulations to all the women doing great things out there, the ones who are striving and the ones who are, you know, making life better for our families and everyone around us. So in discussing these, obviously today, I find that Kenya is one of the most progressive. We are so progressive when it comes to enactment of the laws and bringing women on board. Whether it's in the boardroom, we have an affirmative action right now, even whether it's in leadership. There's a lot that is happening in terms of from a legal standpoint. But when it comes to real implementation, there is a snag. I don't know what it is, what you guys think we should do. I want us to discuss that. But before then, I want to talk about the theme and talk about my grievance. The theme of this year is give to receive. Okay? And give can be anyone who can be giving, yeah? And today I just want to rant. In the sense that on the days leading up to the International Women's Day, there's a lot of conferences, there's a lot of gigs coming up, parties, a lot of things. And women like myself, who are leading women in the society, we get actually invited to by these many organizations to give talks. Come and talk about this, come and talk about that. I'm telling you, our inbox is inundated. Yeah, come and be a keynote speaker there, come and join this panel discussion. And then one of the questions obviously you ask is, do you have a budget? They're like, actually, no, we were hoping you'd use these as an opportunity to actually give back. Give back. Yes, give back. Not even, because we already known.
Yeah.
So give back to the society, come and share your experiences, build the younger ones, motivate them. And you know what annoys me about this is that obviously some of these events are held in some of these very high-end places, high-end hotels. They are paying for the food, it's decorated so well, they paid the event planner, they paid for the flowers, they paid for the musician, for the entertainment, the violinist, whatever. But you is who they don't have a budget for. Honestly, organizations, anyone planning an event and doing that, stop it. I want to tell you to stop it. And I want to challenge the women actually within those organizations who are making these decisions. Please know that you have no power, you don't have influence. If you really had influence yourself, you would actually champion to have a budget for the women who will come and talk. And that should be budget item number one. How much are we paying the women who will actually come and give a talk? And then before that, you trickle down to how much will we spend on the venue, the food, and all that. Because we cannot honestly be preaching wine and drinking water.
Make it very short.
For me, I think the women that I will talk about today are the women who are taking care of kids who are abled differently. That is something that it's very hard and challenging, and every day you wake up, you have to think medication, you have to think taking care, you have to think the aggressiveness for those with ADHD, you have to think a lot of things. Those are the women that I will honor today and say that they are the heroes that we don't talk about. In as much as we are saying there is all this, we have grown politically, we've grown socially, we've grown in our careers, there's actually someone who has to give up their life to just take care of that child. And the child will not have a normal childhood. So you are supposed to give them the hope, the love, and the care. Today and this year, I'm going to celebrate you because you are the heroes that don't wear capes, but you are noticed and you're loved.
For me, it's a challenge as we celebrate this day. It's more of a challenge because there are a few things that I feel that need to be addressed. First of all, there is intentional gap. When it comes to labor, when it comes to payment, when it comes to even the opportunities that are availed for women folks. Number two, we also need to look at how
every woman who has been a mother, who has not been a mother, who has suffered undergoing motherhood, you are a true heroine. I'll talk about nervous condition. Bramaragubenga of Zimbabwe. And they're saying the condition of women in Africa needs to be uplifted. And that book elucidates and tells us the condition of African women. And finally, Miriam Abba of Senegal. So long a letter. So for all the love for you African women, we appreciate you, we feel you, the progress has to be there. And finally, Arundhati Roy of India, or you are God of small things.
Wow. Those are good books. And I like that you're actually always advocating for them. And one of the things I actually want to say in wrapping off this conversation is that when you stay silent and don't speak up and you have a platform, I'm talking about women of influence, you become accessory to whatever evil that is happening. And not just women of influence, even men of influence. So we have to use our positions to speak about these things, to point them out, so that people don't forget.
I think we take a break.
Yes.
Yes, and on that note, we'll take a short break. We'll be right back.
Cheers
on Let's
to
Be Real.
women.
I hope you've enjoyed yourself so far, and I hope you're learning something about women. Personally, I'm loving myself even more because we go through a lot, and supporting a man for him to be like this takes a lot of work. Anyway.
Like this.
Are you his mother?
Like who?
Like, behind every successful man, there's a woman involved. So
Okay.
if you're successful, just praise your woman and stop complaining. Anyway, let's go to the next part of the show, whereby, this is sad, we talked about divorce on the previous part, and now here we are talking about the fact that when couples fight, yeah, by the time they get to fighting, maybe the children have been born, and most of the time they are young children. And then you find that a woman will go to an extent of burning the house together with the kids, putting poison together with the kids. Or any gender can do that, by the way, even men do that. Kill the entire family and run away. So, are children really supposed to be part of a war between two people? And why would you subject an innocent life into death just because you disagreed or you had an issue? Or do we blame this to a mental health problem?
The way you're looking at me.
Medically.
Medically. So number one, we cannot deny these things are happening. Parents separate, and there are so many cases where mothers are killing their own children. So I think so that number one, part of it is a mental. You know, there's that postpartum depression that sometimes, if not checked, it could lead into that. Number two, I think so that sometimes, you know, women need to come out openly and say parenting is difficult. It's very difficult. A lot of women out there, you know, this sanctity of you're a mother, you are. So sometimes we make it very difficult for some of those women who feel nothing for their children. They look at their children and they're like, you even remind me of your father, or whatever, something like that.
process. Education, religion, like everything is the same. So you don't expect them to behave any different. And you see, like, for example, let me put it this way. If, let's say, Kisii are accused of being they get really angry fast. They are dictators. Kisiis are men who say, this is how I want it, this is that's it. By then, most of them do that. But if this man was not raised in Kisii, this man was, yes, you are born Kisii, but your parent got a job in, let's say, Murang'a County. You went and lived there. You don't expect this man to behave like the men who are raised in Kisii behave. So if you see someone telling you, uku ni kubaya, it's true, because me, I'm talking about the men from this culture in this region, in the way I am. I'm not judging Kisiis as all Kisii. I'm judging Kisiis as the Kisiis who are raised in a certain Kisii land with the same resources, with the same parenting format and everything. They're going to behave the same. But let me tell you something. Remember, I'm saying Kisii men. I have a brother and a father. Those are Kisii men. With me saying that, those are two Kisii men. And I'll tell you for a fact, the way my father was raised, if I meet his brother and if I meet my other uncles, it's the same thing. Like, there's a certain character you expect to see. If their wives will sit down to speak, they'll say the same thing. It's just like Luos.
You know.
Luyas, let me tell you something. If their children start from here to there, you people support polygamy, Luos, right?
Is it wrong?
It's not wrong. But the fact remains that if you support polygamy, and me, I tell people, usiolewe na mjaluo, ataleta bibi wa pili. Have I said anything wrong?
Yes.
No, don't worry.
I've said the right thing.
Why?
Because...
How?
Is that not true?
You see, at the end of the day, you know, grass is not
wives,
always
it's not
green
a
on the
problem.
other side. Eh? Grass is not always green on the other side. But you might not know until you step
That's
in that
the
side.
point, yes.
But again, usiteme bigiji kwa karanga za kuonjeshwa. Dr. C, tell us.
I'm quiet on this topic. But it's actually, you know, stereotypes. That's what we call stereotypes. Stereotypes exist. I will tell you, I have the moral authority to talk about Luhya men. Yeah? I'll tell you, if you have a child outside, like you have a Luhya partner and you have a child with another man, don't marry a Luhya man. Luhya men don't look after other men's children, especially if he's a boy. That's stereotype number one.
Law of nature.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know what? Kikuyu men don't care.
Kikuyu men don't care.
don't
You can
care.
come with 3 kids and you love them like yours.
Another stereotype. If you are a Kikuyu woman and you're marrying a Luhya or a Luo man, you will not do well with the mother-in-law.
Fact.
It's a fact. Everybody knows. All the Luhya and Luo women don't want, even up to now, don't want their sons to actually marry Kikuyu women. What is the reason? Actually, I went to dig traditionally. It's because you're going to stay a Musumba. Because of the divorce laws, Kikuyu women, in the Kikuyu culture, children belong to the
mother.
women.
Yeah.
So when a Kikuyu woman leaves, Allah, you live with your children. For a Luhya man, children belong to
The man.
to them. And that's how I ended up being raised by a father, because when my parents divorced, it was, you don't even think about it. Children belong to the men. It's a extremely paternal, yeah. Growing up, just now when I came to Nairobi, whatever, it was that Luhya men are not really ambitious. And I was never looking forward to marrying a Luhya man.
Because you believe they were not ambitious.
Everybody says, even her, she's saying, yeah, they're not ambitious.
They're
That's
not
a
ambitious.
stereotype.
It's not a
It's a
stereotype.
stereotype.
Yeah,
It is a stereotype because there are so many.
it true?
It's just, it's just
There are
like
very
you
many
say.
successful Luhya men. It's just a stereotype. It's not true that the Luhya men are not ambitious.
Exactly.
But it was just something that was said. But however, this is how I want to guide people. If you are dating outside of your tribe, I think it's something that has to be commended, because let me tell you, if you come to Kenya 50 years from now, even 100 years from now, all these tribes
Yes.
First of all, you look at the way that man, if you are kissy and your mother is kissy, you see baba mkisi ametesa mama yako, anaweza wacha tafute kwingine.
And there's no way out.
It's been real, guys. Good night.
Good night.